Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Damian Nelson's here alongside Linda Kay. Linda, how are you?
I'm fantastic. What about you?
I am tremendous. How could I not be?
She's front
really
and center.
bright in here.
Oh, wow.
Makes you feel like we're on normal ass.
It's all about your
you,
emails. I didn't even see you over there. Meathead's here. It's all about your emails coming to PWRshow.com. And let's not waste any time. Let's get right to them. And the first one comes from Matt in Ontario, Canada. Matt says this. Listen closely. First, just want to say thank you for all your WrestleMania coverage. I followed your postings each day over the weekend, and I thought Frank did a great job with everything. I really want to get your thoughts on Orton and who you think he will feud with next. When I watched Raw on Monday and we found out that Orton was teaming with Cena, as soon as Orton's music hit, the crowd gave a huge pop. I have to say, this is the first time in a while that I marked out for Orton in a big way. He got over with the crowd and looked really focused in his match. That moment, to me, had a very Steve Austin-esque feel to it. It reminded me of how Austin got over with his DTA attitude and no BS from anyone. Orton seems to be showing that too, and it's working with the crowd in my opinion. Your thoughts on Orton for Raw, from Raw, and his future feuds?
Before we start,
Linda was going to go first.
DTA?
Don't trust anyone.
Okay. Just had to make sure. It's been over 3 months.
I know this is your second episode, but all he does is interrupt people with pointless
Whoa,
banter.
whoa. There is no pointless banter. It's about adding to the show. There's viewers out there that didn't know what DTA was. I'm helping set the stage
If
for
you didn't
Linda.
know what DTA was,
Okay.
please send us an email to comments@pwrshow.com.
And
Linda, Randy Orton, your thoughts of him teaming with John Cena on Raw this past Monday night and who he may feud with going forward.
Well, first of all, I think it's great that they're, pulling Randy away from the whole evolution thing and trying.
Evolution? Hell, that was years ago. Legacy, you mean? When Cody was making Randy a star? Yeah, I remember that.
Sorry, my mind's on other things right now.
Cody,
I know,
Legacy.
you sit this close
Sorry,
to me.
guys. But yeah, no, I think that's great. But I mean, having him team up with Cena, I saw that coming.
Yeah. Really? When? Since Sunday night?
Since Monday night, right before Raw started.
All right.
When
When they said it was a mystery
special,
part,
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that was happening. I thought that was great. I mean, it's nice to see, two big favorites here in the WWE tagged up together. As far as who you'll be feuding with next, let's see. I don't know. Is the Cena Batista thing going to go for a while? Or?
Well, Cody Rhodes is going to be out for a while, so he's eliminated.
why do we keep bringing that guy's name up? I mean, he's not even a,
Linda
he's
and
not
I
a
are having a
star.
conversation
Cody
here.
Rhodes isn't a star.
In your opinion?
And a lot more than just mine.
I'd like to see another Batista-Orton feud going on, but I don't know. I see that. I don't know. What do you think? Cena Batista for a while?
I have not given it any thought. They had a match at Mania, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I have the rematch, right?
I mean, I guess it can. Extreme Rules, it gives you the opportunity to have a pass, basically. You can redo the same stuff because you have different match elements, so it's not the same match. But I really don't know. I don't think they really established much of anything this past Monday night on Raw. It was going to take a week or two for them to figure it out. But Meathead, your thoughts. Orton teaming with John Cena this past Monday on Raw, and who he may feud with going forward.
Well, we definitely know that he's going to feud with a heel. Do you know why? Randy Orton's not a heel anymore. From the commentary by Michael Cole to the actions in the ring to who he teamed with, Randy Orton is now a good guy. He would have been part of the good guys of WrestleMania special that you guys did, Frank and Damian. So who he could go with, he's got a fresh list. He's been a heel for a while, so he can go Batista. He can go with, I don't know. He might even, the draft is coming up soon. He might just, kind of flounder until
it's time to
he
shake things up again.
See, now when I'm talking and I'm told I interrupt, there I was talking.
You were done.
And I wasn't done or not. Yeah, you could also go with Ted and DiBiase. You could go with anybody else on Raw.
Thank you, Matt from Ontario, for that email. Let's go now to an email from John Bush, who says this, reference WrestleMania 26. I didn't really get emotionally involved in the show that much. Jack Swagger wins Money in the Bank? Where has he been the last 5 months? Well, I'll watch Mania again to see if I like it better. It just hit me now that Sean's career is over. Thank you, Sean. So John saying he had no emotional investment in WrestleMania 26. Linda, did you feel emotionally involved with WrestleMania? Did you care about it?
Absolutely. And did he just say that about the whole Shawn Michaels thing? I think that's
sometimes
some emotional tie to that. Absolutely. I mean, I think the definite highlight to me was definitely the career versus
Yeah.
streak match. I mean, that's the big emotional involvement with that. Everything else, I don't know. Talking about Money in the Bank, it's very good. Did you see Swagger? I don't know.
I
predicted.
No, I picked him. That makes two of us. Yeah, I picked Swagger.
What about you?
I'm going to stick with the pick that I said before the show, and I'm going to say I picked MVP, not change my pick after somebody won and say I picked that person. So I picked MVP.
Who did that? Why are you being so mean to Linda?
I'm not being mean to Linda
I
at
should
all.
say-
Swagger all along.
Okay,
Swagger.
awesome. There's heat between us. I don't know if you've thought
Okay.
that yet.
All right.
I just don't like him. James O'Leary sends this next one in. He's from Cardiff, Wales, across the pond. Overall, I thought WrestleMania was a good show. I don't see a lot of the problems that people are talking about with some of the matches. For instance, the Bret Hart-Vince McMahon match was never going to be the standard of the Hart-Michaels Iron Man match, as Bret's recovering from a stroke, and Vince is 64 years old. For what it was, I enjoyed seeing Hart get his revenge, but I could appreciate the match was a little longer than it could have been. Y'all's thoughts on that matchup? Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon.
The Drizzlins is the term I've been hearing.
Does everybody out there know what the Drizzlins means?
Do I have to explain?
Well, yeah,
Because
it's like
I've used
DTA.
I've used that word before, and I was told that I can't use that because in the dictionary it was a past tense and whatever. The match was bad. It was just bad. It honestly was a bathroom break for me. I watched the Divas match more than I watched that match.
Actually, when I was watching, we had that same discussion. We thought that the Divas match was better than.
Yeah.
Was it Vicky's Frog Splash?
No, it was Hog Splash.
I
I don't think so. I love Vicky Guerrero. Great.
Wow!
No, I'm WWE.com. That's how to describe it. Okay, great.
What's your name again so everybody can get that phrase stuck right on
I
top
love
of you?
That's
Vicky.
okay.
Gosh, guys.
Welcome.
James goes on to say, my whole question, though, is even in my mind, I would give this WrestleMania an 8 out of 10. I think it was a pretty forgettable show on the whole. Do you think this will become one of the forgotten WrestleManias? He did.
Absolutely. Again, the only thing that was memorable was the Undertaker-Shawn Michaels match. John Cena won, but it was predictable. The only thing that saved that match was John Cena going right by the haters and starting to pose with them. That was fun.
They weren't haters
That
anymore.
was a highlight.
That was a highlight of the match, and that's not even part of the match. So it's one of those that'll just fall by the wayside.
Thank you for that email, James, from across the pond. Next one comes from Jameson, who says, if you were to judge TNA and WWE, not ratings-based, but on the product, which show has been the clear winner in 2010? Linda, your thoughts?
Just been a few months so far in 2010, I guess, but
You got to pick one. Not on the
Okay,
ratings, especially
not the
TNA's
ratings.
0.6 this past Monday night.
I guess I'll say TNA just with all the superstars formerly from WWE.
Now, here's my question.
Okay.
Did I prompt you to say that?
No,
Did we have a discussion about this question before the show?
no, we did not. I'm a big fan.
No, the
I'm
defense
just-
rests.
Okay.
Meathead.
TNA by a slight edge, and again, now the people that follow us on PWRshow.com will start calling us haters, TNA marks, whatever. TNA has been more exciting to me. Now, granted, there's been the post-WrestleMania Raw. That was a lot better than what TNA put out there. There was the January 4th Raw versus the January 4th Impact. It was neck and neck there. But on the whole, it was TNA Impact.
I think TNA has had a week and a half of good product, so WWE would be the clear winner in this scenario.
There
TNA
goes the
has
catering. Gone.
TNA has had some good weeks, but I think overall, which show has been the clear winner in 2010, has to be WWE. Jameson D, thank you very much for that email. Next one comes from Timothy, who asks this. Timothy Kemp from Burlington, Vermont, by the way. I like having a pre- and post-game show for all the wrestling shows, and I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you for that. We do it for you. Goes on into his question saying, and I quote, I have a comment and question about Michael Cole. I believe the guy gets a lot of unnecessary heat from many fans, and I can't understand why. I've been watching him for most of his time in WWE, including every Saturday morning on Livewire, and never have had a problem with him. I think a lot of fans just compare him to his predecessor, JR, and that's why they believe he sucks. What do you guys think about him? Does he deserve a lot of the heat he gets?
Timothy, I gotta agree that with JR being his predecessor, that's where he's feeling a lot of the heat. Everyone wants him to be up to JR's
Got
standards,
your little
but
moose in your hair, your little narrow ass.
I mean, gosh, he's
Do you think he does a good job at what he does? He's been doing it for 13 years.
absolutely. Again, the experience, I think he's got a lot of charisma, a lot of knowledge, and I just think a lot of people are just comparing him to who was sitting in that seat at the Raw table before the King. So, I don't know. I agree with you, Timothy. I think he's doing great.
I think the problem with Michael Cole, and he does a great job, a vintage job at what he does. The problem with Michael Cole is it seems to me he's come a little complacent, a little lazy with his broadcasting, having to throw it up vintage, having to throw out, just the overselling of the silliest things. He does what he's supposed to do. He's a company guy doing exactly what he's being, told through his headset. And the reason he's on Raw with King is he's the lead guy right now. I mean, JR, we don't know if he's going to come back. If he would have came back, I thought he would have called the main event. I thought he would have called Undertaker HBK.
For all intents and purposes, JR is done broadcasting
Correct,
wrestling
and
matches
that's
for WWE.
And that's what I'm getting at. I mean, there might be a spot for him in the back with the boys, in the gorilla position if you want. But the reason he's there is because he's the best at what he does. And that's, again, a loaded statement, but Michael Cole is still good. It's just that he gets a lot of heat because he's not JR, like you said, and like Timothy has said. And, he seems a little lazy sometimes.
Michael Cole, I have been a strong advocate of Michael Cole for a long time, especially when JR was there. However, once he moved to Raw, I lost that feeling.
You lost that love and feeling.
I think Michael Cole, while talented and while he can do what he does and does a decent job at it, a good job at it, I don't feel any passion for Michael Cole. I don't feel that he actually is enjoying what he's doing or has passion for what he's doing. I'm not saying that that is the case. I'm saying I don't feel that that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
Now, clearly, when you spend 13 years doing something, getting berated like he does by not only the fans, but by reportedly Vince McMahon on TV, in the headsets every week, he's got to have some buy-in to it, but I just don't, I don't feel it. I don't feel as I felt that JR was cared a lot about the business. And it wasn't just because JR was in the business for 20 years before he, went to WWE, or 15 years or whatever. It was the passion he delivered in his voice and in his presentation. Michael Cole does not have that.
Do you think that comes also from, again, I'm going to kind of piggyback off what you said, JR's been in the business. He's been out on the road with the boys. And Michael Cole came from legitimate broadcasting into WWE.
Mm-hmm. That has something to do with it for sure. For sure. I don't think anybody's walking up to Michael Cole to be a mentor.
Yeah, his lifelong passion wasn't wrestling.
I would, but
his lifelong passion wasn't wrestling. I mean, JR's was. That's what he did.
Thank you for that email from Vermont. Final email of the day is reference TNA business on Monday nights. This comes from Derry Jameson. It seems that TNA Impact's ratings on Monday nights have been less than expected from the wrestling fans, and as reported from Spike TV and TNA as well, I do think this will take time. But do you think this was the wrong business decision going from 9 to 11, basically head-to-head with Raw, as I think it would have been better to go an hour earlier? Do you agree? Meathead, your thoughts.
Should hour early probably should have been where they went, because you know what? They could have hooked the fans at 7:45, 7:50 Central Time, right before Raw went on the air. They could have hooked the fans with maybe this gimmick, but you don't want a company to keep doing that, because they'll just keep hot-shotting that spot every week over and over, just doing something desperate to grab your attention. I think head-to-head to build their audience, this is the land of DVR now, so people are going to watch both products.
Linda, your thoughts. Should TNA have gone head-to-head, or should they take advantage of that hour early that they're going to be doing this Monday night, which is more of a test, I think, than a scheduling issue, against WWE Raw?
I think you put that very well, a test. And I agree with you. Going that hour early, again, you got to draw in the fans. I mean, like you said, though, are they going to do the same type of thing right at 7 for,
Yeah, right about, where that first hour main event is supposed to be, or that second hour main event.
Wouldn't that be the point?
Every week, though? How long can that last?
But every week, every show puts on their best product, typically in that 9 o'clock hour, that hour.
I've seen Cody Rhodes at the end of the hour, and that's not their best product.
What does that mean?
It means that he's not a top-level guy.
The young man is out injured. after being kicked in the head, and you're going to sit here and take pot shots at him?
If
If he were healthy,
shots.
you wouldn't be saying anything
I've
bad
said
about
it
him.
for weeks.
Get Cody on the phone right now, and I want this recorded, and I want this played for him in his hospital
Is
room.
Don on the phone?
No, because Cody's on the phone in a minute. Linda, I'm sorry about
No,
that.
that's, I was saying,
No, I'm
what do you
still
think,
just sorry
though?
about it.
Do you think better head-to-head? I don't know.
Absolutely not. They should be going an hour earlier each and every week because they're going to get an audience in that unopposed first hour regardless. That's what worked on January 4th, and that's what will continue to work for them until they establish their own audience. Right now, they are throwing stones at a castle, and it's not going to get them anywhere. So, unless maybe they should
Oh, yeah,
just
now
take,
it's going to get somewhere.
no, maybe they should just take 2 hours of Ric Flair doing races in a wheelchair with.
I
some other
am not a
senior
happy man.
camper.
Doesn't matter.
It did matter. That has been PWR Interactive. Special programming note, we will not be on 540 ESPN this Monday night due to some conflicts in scheduling, legit conflicts in scheduling. But we will be on Wednesday night, a special day, special time. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 Eastern. So be sure to join in to the Pro Wrestling
Wednesday,
Report on
Wednesday.
540 ESPN. And also make sure you go to pwrshow.com. Send us your emails, your comments, your questions, your concerns to be addressed here on this program. And some of the ones that, if you want to just send your comments over, you may see some of those published at pwrshow.com for discussion in that particular forum. So, for the man they call Meathead and Linda Kay, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you for joining us here on the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive.